Hello, Shiv. Good morning and welcome to my channel. How are you today?
Well, very shiny, sunny, chocolatey, magnetic, and magical. Good afternoon, ma'am, from my side. And I'm fit as a Fidel, doing fantastic by the grace of Almighty God and a blessing from good people like you. Thanks for your kind concern. How about your side? How your day has been going so far?
Same here. My day has been quite good so far. And now that you are in front of me, so I'm sure this is going to be even better. Okay.
I wish I could see my that
hmm
I'm feeling that I'm about to fly. Thanks for your official words. Thank you.
All right. So last time when we met, I was quite new in this journey and I was little anxious and underconfident to speak with you. But now we are meeting after a long time. I'm quite better now, quite confident. So I'm really looking forward to this session. I'm quite comfortable today. So, like, how has your journey been so far from then?
Yeah, my journey has been going so far, so good, no complaint. And again, I would say the same thing that I'm trying to add some value in my overall personality, at the same time in my learning, because what I believe learning is something which is a continuous process.
Mm-hmm.
Till your last breath, you can learn something from someone. So you should not freeze at one place, no matter how much you have achieved. That's totally fine. But until like in our last void, we have a dark corner which we need to fill on. So that's what I'm trying to fill.
Great, great. So you're already famous on YouTube, and many people out there already know you. But for those who might not know you yet, can you please introduce yourself a little bit?
Yeah, sure. I would be more than happy to introduce myself. Well, my name is Shiv, and my native place is Uttarakhand. But basically, I do live in capital Dehradun, and by profession, I'm a central government employee. As far as my academic qualification concerned, I'm done with my master in English, master in commerce, and this year I'm pursuing my master in economics. This is my final year. In addition to this, I do teach English to beginners and intermediate speakers as an unofficial English trainer. And I run my own YouTube channel by the name of English with Teachership, where I'm uploading spoken English content and some one-to-one conversation videos as we are having right now. So that's all from my side in brief.
That's a wonderful introduction, and thank you so much for that. So you already mentioned about your YouTube channel here. So how is that going?
Yeah, my YouTube channel going is so far so good. Yeah, actually, I'm not getting enough time to upload videos to provide such content which I'm planning to provide. But just because of shortage of time, I'm not able to present the way I want to present myself. But still, okay, that's fine. At least I'm trying. Like every single day, I'm just uploading at least one short videos based on some vocab or something which can motivate all the co-learners and fresher who have been struggling a lot with their different issues in order to being fluent in this language. So that's how it goes.
That's great. So, although you're not very regular on a channel, but still, if anyone would like to see all of your insights, then they can definitely go and visit your channel, right? So, there are many people out there who are on the same journey as us, and I have seen that many beginners or many people on this journey, they feel sometimes discouraged and demotivated and feels like giving up in the midway. So, what motivation do you want to give them so that they could feel positive throughout their journey?
Well, I would say motivation is your biggest enemy. That's what I believe. Or I would say motivation is your biggest temptation. Let me tell you why. See, you have listened any motivational videos, you have listened any motivational speakers, you feel that you are motivated and you start doing practice the way you want. As soon as motivation is there, you are so enthusiastic from your inside in order to practice the way you want to practice. But as your motivation is lost, practice is stopped and you start procrastinating the things. So I would say there are two types of motivation. First one is internal, the second one is external. So external motivation is something when you listen to someone and from there you got motivation and you start doing whatever you want to do in life. But when it comes to internal motivation, this is something which is more important. It is something which comes from your inside. within you, from your soul, from the bottom of your heart, you feel that yes, I need to do something. This motivation gives you a reason why you should wake up early in the morning and why you have to sleep at late night. If you sleep and before sleeping, you ask you this question to yourself: did you add some value in your overall personality throughout the day? Did you learn something? If you are asking this question to yourself, it means yes, you are motivated from your inside, and this motivation is for long period of time. But external motivation is temporary. It's just temptation, as I said before. So if anyone wants to cover or anyone wants to cover the journey that he or she has started in order to being fluent in this language, and if he or she is looking for any motivation, I would say that don't go here and there. Don't wait for any outside that he or she will come in my life and then we'll start doing practice. That's not how it goes. In fact, you should believe on yourself. You have to trust on yourself that yes, you can do it. But I believe being an Indian, English is not our native language. And while learning this language, if you are making any mistakes here and there, that's totally fine. If we are stucking, we are fumbling, we should not feel ashamed about it as we are not born with this language. The second thing is if you really want to get motivated from your side, I want everyone to find one powerful reason for learning this language. Until unless you don't know why, if you don't know the answer of your why, that why do you want to master this language, you can't try and you can't even learn this language. Because this single strong reason will gonna motivate you, guide you, teach you, and direct you the way you want to practice, and you will not waste your time here and there in any useless stuff. Rather, you'll be more focused towards your learning. The last but not least, confidence is not a product that you can buy from market. It's not even a tablet that you can purchase from any promise shop. There is no magic, no shortcut. But there is something that is practice. So no matter how many tips and tricks you are taking from any mentors, trainers, and coach, until unless you would not follow all those tips and tricks practically on ground, everything is nothing but more than a garbage. So knowing something is not that much important as the important implementation of that knowing knowledge. So your education will definitely gonna make you a very good speaker of this language. So I would conclude: keep patience, enjoy the journey, avoid procrastination, be determined, and challenge yourself, educate yourself that yes, you can do it. And this is how you can become the best version of yourself and you can create a masterpiece of English for your upcoming journey. That's how I can say.
Amazing. I feel like as if I'm listening to any motivational speaker. You give a quite good motivational speech here. Okay, so you have quite a practical approach towards learning, I must say, and I hope everyone could get a mentor like you who could guide them in their journey, right? Because people feel sometimes because they are always following these traditional methods of learning. Like most of the people telling them all the traditional methods, but no one is telling them the practical approach towards learning. But if they follow this practical approach, whenever they feel like giving up, they have to remind themselves that why they started this journey, and this way they can really feel motivated. So that's good. And like you are already in a central government job, right? So I just want to ask you one interesting question. If you weren't a central government employee, so what you would have been? What else you would have been?
I would have been maybe an English trainer because
Mm-hmm.
that's something most, and I've been
Uh-huh.
practicing for a lot of time. It's been around, I guess, 4 years. I've been practicing
Mm-hmm.
with this language. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
not fluent and perfect because in my initial stage, I took English as a language, not subject. So
Mm-hmm.
for me, English is just a bridge which
Mm-hmm.
helps to communicate with two different people having two different languages. So I haven't learned grammar in my entire life. That's the only thing where I'm lacking with. But to be very frank with you, since I started my journey as if now, I didn't feel that I should learn grammar seriously because I was not even looking forward to become a trainer in English. But yes, as you said, if I weren't in a government job, definitely I would have become a trainer, English trainer, because that's something which I feel that I should come up with.
Hmm. Hmm. And
That's
why
all.
do you feel so? What fascinated you to be a trainer in this language?
Criticism. I'm going to say, when I started learning this language, as I did my schooling from Hindi medium school, so you can understand for a person who has done his whole academic qualification in Hindi, how difficult it is to learn this language. So when I started learning this language, I started from one application that was Hello, and that was my first day. I just joined one panel, and the host insulted me so badly. He told me that the way you are speaking English, it seems to be that you are a rapist of English. And the way you speak English, it seems to be that you are doing postmortem of English. Rather learning this language, just quit your journey and give up. But I was kind of very stubborn and had a strong person. I didn't give up. Rather, I took that as a challenge. I took that criticism in a positive and constructive way. And from there only, you can say my journey has started in a real way. I just practiced like I burned myself like midnight oil. Day and night I did practice. I did practice for 14 to 16 hours, along with my job, my study, and my personal life. And I did practice for 14 to 16 hours for the next 3 months. Then after I got a little bit fluency, means I was in that position where I can manifest my ideas in such an amazing and captivating way. So, what I want to say that that insult fascinated me a lot, to be very frank with you. If the
Hmm.
guy would not insulted me at that day, to be very frank with you, I would not start learning this language. That's what
Hmm.
I believe.
That's quite obvious because when someone, uses these kind of bad and worst words, then that it really hits us and we move in that direction. We want to prove them, right?
Yes, correct. I
Mhm. So you mentioned that you started with some apps like Hello. Okay. So I'm sure you must have gone through many apps. You must have tried many apps. So what, according to you, is the best app today?
applications like iLocal, then Hello application, then Hello Talk, then Open Talk, then the free application, then Clubhouse, then English Vata, Joe's Talk, and likewise. But I found that one application that is Fluency. I think
Mhm.
Fluency is the best application where you can practice because there you find Indians, and most of them are very serious to us learning this language
Mhm.
because they have money, and obviously when someone will pay some money to someone, definitely he would take his learning or journey seriously because he doesn't want to waste his money anywhere in any useless stuff. This that application is really good for practice. That's what I
Hmm.
believe.
Okay. Even I've also tried one app recently called Civi. Have you heard of it? Civi.
Yeah, it's
SIVI.
an AI application.
Uh-huh. And there are many learners as well. So I have practiced with around 3 to 4 learners, and they were quite serious. So I found that app really nice. CV app as well. So people can refer to ACE, Fluency, and CV too,
Yeah, correct.
right?
I haven't used it, but yes, you have used. So maybe definitely
Hmm.
for impeccable teacher is suggesting something, it would be good on.
Till now, my experience is good. I don't know, like for future, but till now it is good. Okay, you've mentioned that you have never focused on grammar, but still many people out there are struggling with grammar rules and everything, and they cannot go forward in speaking without grammar. So, what suggestion or what advice would you like to give them? Those who are really very conscious about grammar or stressing over grammar.
Well, see, okay, first thing I would say, grammar is base of English. It's a backbone of English, root of English. You can't separate grammar from English. That's the bitter fact and harsh reality that I have already accepted. But still, there are some points which one has to keep in accounting when he or she is trying to learn this language. First thing, one has to ask himself that why he is learning this language. What is the purpose he has? And how much grammar is required there in order to solve that purpose? Okay, fine. In your case, if you want to become a trainer or a teacher, so you must have grammar knowledge. You have to learn grammar profoundly, right? Because being a trainer, you are not even allowed to make a single mistake, and especially major mistakes, right? Now, second thing, if you are more into writing, for example, if you are preparing for any government written examination, or if you want to become a writer or author, right? And there, if you need grammar, definitely you have to learn grammar, no choice. But in some cases, like in my case, I took English as a language because I just want to communicate with people. That's it. So for me, or for beginner or for intermediate level of speakers, only functional grammar is more than enough. So when I'm saying functional grammar, what does it mean? It simply includes three or four things. First one is tenses, second one is articles, third one is prepositions, and fourth one is modals. So these four things are more than enough if you want to speak in a very normal or at intermediate level, right? But yes, beyond this, if you are looking for something advanced, something proficient, so you have to learn grammar, not just because when you speak English, and if you are not able to frame sentences the way you want, so that's something which will become a hurdle and hindrance for you to being fluent in this language. In fact, in my case as well, I do make some grammar mistakes here and there, but what I feel that those mistakes are minor mistakes. I'm not even making blunder. That's what I feel. I'm not sure. But I have seen many people who have learned grammar completely. If you ask them, they can tell you every single rule of grammar. But suddenly, when you ask them to talk about a topic, they stuck a lot. Why? Because they have divided their mind, their brain into two different parts. The first part of brain is calculating the grammar. Am I speaking right? Am I speaking wrong? Shall I use have, has, do, does? And they are they are confused. The second part of brain is thinking about the content which they have to speak about. So it's really difficult to cross a river by sailing on two different boats. Okay, to some extent you can sail, but at one point you have to decide only one boat to cross the river, and that's the reality. So if you are that fluent that you can just align grammar and your content all together, hand to hand. So that's really great. It means you are really an eloquent and proficient speaker. But in case if you have this problem that you have learned grammar, but you are not able to put all those critical grammar rules practically on your spoken English. So to be very frank with you, I would say that just try to get flow and confidence wins where you can speak English without any hesitation and shyness. Once you reach on this level, then gradually you can start implementing grammar rules in your spoken English. But in initial state, I would say for a beginner or learner, uh, grammar is not a good idea. We should not bother about grammar. We should not create a trap of grammar for ourselves. That's what I feel.
Right. Right, and I totally agree with you because when people start with grammar rules, then they find it really difficult to start their spoken English journey or to be consistent because that grammar always haunts them, right? So it's better to avoid grammar at first. Start with some basic things, tenses, article, as you said, and just start your speaking journey. Practice your speaking on daily basis, and that will do wonders. And yes, immersing yourself by watching movies and reading books, and from there only you can get to know about grammar rules while doing all these activities.
In fact, as you said, immersion is really imperative because immersion will teach you some basic patterns of grammar which are required to continue your conversation. Means see, for example, in my case, I haven't learned a grammar rule in my entire life. I don't even know a single rule of grammar, but I hope you can see that I'm speaking. Maybe
Yes.
I'm making a lot of mistakes, that's fine, but I think I'm not making blunder. So why is it so? Because not consciously. but subconsciously I have acquired some basic patterns of grammar which are required in order to frame some meaningful sentences. So that's how it goes. Means when you start learning a language, it's not you have to learn every single thing in a deeper way, in a profound way. By the time there are some rules which you know automatically when you start talking with people day by day.
Hmm.
That's what I
Hmm. So observation is also very important. You should have good observation skill, right?
correct. Yeah,
Mhm. Okay, so let us move a little bit to your personal life. You have once mentioned that you have two daughters, right?
exactly. Yeah, you're
So
right.
who are they close to, you or the mother?
Obviously, mother, because they spend the maximum time with the
Mm-hmm.
mother only. I'm
Mm-hmm.
always in.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Right, right, right. Okay, so we all are like into teaching some or the other values to our children. But I want to know from you what value or what teaching you want to pass on to your children.
Well, for me, education is not only about bookish knowledge, whatever you are learning from institutes, from coaching centers, from schools, from college and institution. No, education is something when you have to educate your children holistically. There you have to teach them moral values, value of life, how they can set goals for themselves, how they can achieve those goals. At every single stage, you have to tell them, you have to guide them and direct them that how can you face these kind of difficulties in your upcoming days. You have to become like a light so that they can enlighten it by with your experience. Because we are elder, we have experienced so many things since our childhood, right? So now it's our responsibility to pass the same information, same knowledge, same experience to them as well. And they can, tackle those kind of problems and challenges in a very in a better way. So if you have learned a lesson in your whole life, whatever you have learned, the difference between do's and don'ts, difference between right and wrong, cons and pros of anything in the life, so you have to pass on there. Now, if they are getting distractions, if they are deviating from their main aim, this is your responsibility to educate them that you are going in a wrong direction. This is not something which is good for you. You should think about the merits and demerits of the decision which you have taken for yourself. So, not in a very harsh and strict way, but yes, politely, you have to tackle them, you have to educate them, you have to guide them that you are the future of family, your family, and society, then country. And until unless you will not take care of yourself and you not
Mm-hmm.
educate yourself, how can you educate others? So
Mm-hmm.
these are some values that you have to, give and pass on to your children.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful, wonderful. And I'm totally on it with you. And have you noticed that these days parents are really very overprotective for their children? Even when they fall, they become really very paranoid. They don't let them stand on their own. They'll just rush to them and help them, and they become very overprotective for them. So, what is your take on this? What are your views?
Uh, Believe me or not, so what I feel that overprotecting is not a good sign of the parenting. But still, you know what? Somewhere we have that fear. We do have that fear because they are our children, right? And if they feel any kind of difficulties, if they get injured, and if they are panic, if they are anxious and they are nervous, whatever problem they are facing, somewhere we also feel that problem that oh God,
Hmm.
like this should not be
Absolutely.
happen with them. So that's why we always try to take care of them in all ways, not from one angle, from all the diagonals, related to their education, related to their security. And these days, you know what's happening around us, right? So in that way, we are so conscious about it. So that's totally fine. But I think it's like we should not give more preference to that generation gap. I hope you know that generation gap is really a very, very hard thing that we should not come up with. So if our children are saying something to us, we need to understand them, we need to talk with them, And this is how we have to tackle all these problems. So overproducting, okay, it's fine, but that overproducting should not reflect in their face in their personal life. They should
Mhm.
not feel that you have a very conservative family.
I too have mixed feelings about this thing, this what can we say, this trend, like overprotecting our children. So not totally on it, and I sometimes let my children stand on their own if they fall. I want them to do their chores on their own from the very early age so that they could become self-reliant, and that is the most important quality in my opinion that every children should possess from the very early ages. And this is the one quality that I want to pass on to my children.
Yeah, so you want to make them self-dependent, basically, if I'm
Right,
not wrong.
right. And I think this is the
That's
very important quality that one should possess.
great. In fact,
Mm-hmm.
but don't you feel so that somewhere they need our help, even though they
Mm-hmm.
want to make themselves dependent, but somewhere our guidance, our directions, our decisions, and experience matters a lot in order to make
Right,
themselves.
right. So we should always be there for the guidance, but they have to walk on their journey on their own. I am quite a
Yes.
little strict parent.
Yeah, that's what I can feel. That's I can feel it.
Uh-huh. Okay, so it's time about to wrap up the session. But before leaving, I want you to give a piece of advice. Like what is the best piece of advice you can give to learners?
Well, I would say the first one is fail, FAIL. So, guys, once you have started your journey to being fluent in this language, and if you feel that you are fail, so do remember, fail doesn't mean that you are permanent fail. Fail simply means first attempt in learning, right? So do remember this point for the rest of your learning life. And one thing I want to say, guys, like no one is perfect in this whole world. No one can make this disclaimer that I'm the one who is having a specialization in this language. English is not our first language, so we should not expect the same level of perfectionism from ourselves as native speakers of English have in this language. Now, the second thing is we do have flaws. We need to just find out our shortcomings and drawbacks, which we need to work upon. And somewhere, if we are making mistake here and there, so we should not be get anxious about it because we all are humans. We are not God, and humans are more than welcome to make mistakes. But the one who is very wise and sagacious personality will always just find his mistakes, then after start fixing it, and this is how he or she can speak English like a fluent speaker. So don't be overstressed about your learning. Keep enjoying. Keep patience because it's not a journey that you can cover in one night. It's not a 2020 match. And there is no shortcut. If there is something that is your consistent practice. If you trust on yourself, you believe on yourself that yes, I can do it. So I trust me. No such power is there in this whole world who can stop you to being fluent in this language and to master it. So keep practicing, keep learning, keep improving, keep shining, and if it is possible, so keep sharing. That's all I can
Mhm.
say.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And thank you so much for these interesting facts and interesting advice for people. And I'm sure they'll must get benefit out of it. And what if someone want to reach you for classes? How can they connect with you?
I have mentioned my YouTube channel name, I think, when
Mm-hmm.
interacting with you that
Right.
English Just There I have mentioned my all contact details, my email
Mm-hmm.
ID, my ID, my WhatsApp number, everything is there. So if anyone wants to reach out me, so he
Mm-hmm.
or she can actually connect with me from choosing any medium of contact, which I have mentioned in my YouTube channel. That's how it
Oh,
goes.
okay, amazing. And thank you so much for this precious time of yours and for being here on this channel. It was really nice talking to you. I hope you feel the same.
Yeah, I have enjoyed the whole session because I got some very interesting and unique questions which I haven't answered before. At the same time, I have learned so many things from you, the way you speak, the way your articulation, and the way you are the way you carry the conversation and you hold the concept and the way you started. It's an art. It's like no one can do it in the way as you have done it. So I must admire you for that. And thank you for connecting with me, giving your precious time. It was really a constructive, fruitful, and colorful conversation with you, which I've enjoyed. Hopefully, you as well. And in the future, definitely, I'm looking up to talk with you again.
Yes, yes. We'll very soon meet again. And thank you so much for your time again. And let's wrap up the session here only. We'll meet very soon. All right.
Okay, man.
Okay.
Bye bye.
Okay then.
Have a
Okay, bye. Take care.